breaking news on WDSU.
Breaking news right now, New Orleans police have identified a suspect in Sunday's 9th Ward playground shooting. They say the investigation has led them to 32-year-old Joseph Mo Allen as one of the shooting suspects. Let's listen in.
As one of the shooters, he's 32 years old. We continue to receive tips and work really hard, but they've identified Mr. Allen as a shooter that was in the park at that time. We are having this press conference to let everybody know that we know who he is, to ask the community to help us find him. Last week we did the same thing with the individual that shot the doctor on the street. We told everybody that we were going to be aggressive, and we found him the next day. And we're telling everybody here we're going to do the same thing. So the federal, state, and local authorities are working together with the leadership of this team behind us, these lieutenants, the sergeants, the commander, the chief. They've been working basically 24/7, and we've identified Mr. Allen, and we need the community now to help us find where he is so that we can apprehend him. This is just the first shoe that dropped in these kinds of investigations. We are going to do everything we can to make sure all the other shoes drop as well, and the message has gone out loud and clear to all the guys that were in the park that night that are shooting. It would be much better for you to turn yourself in because we are going to find you, and we're going to prosecute you, and we're going to make sure that we don't allow you to put innocent citizens in harm's way or yourself. And so I want to thank these guys for their work. We're not anywhere close to being finished, but we told you that we would keep working hard until we did this, and so this is a great first step. I will say this, that we need the people who were in that park to get information to us. We have not yet received any videos, and everybody knows that there were lots of them out there. And so again, I say this to the New Orleans community: if we want our community to be safe, we need everybody to help us. But this has been great work in the past couple of days. We're going to keep doing it. We need to get Mr. Allen in custody as fast as possible, and then the other shoes will begin to follow as well. Let me turn it over to the chief, and then we'll answer questions.
Good morning. Look, we couldn't be more pleased with the work of this team, but we know we have a long way to go. The message is clear. We're not going to stand for it. This is not a game, and we are absolutely not playing with you. So this is a very determined, competent, dedicated group of men and women standing with us, and all of us are going to work around the clock until we catch every last person. But we need your help. We need video, we need photos, we need people to come forward to tell us what happened and send that information to Crime Stoppers right away. And we need to catch Mr. Allen right away. Once again, this is not a game. He is an armed and dangerous person, and we need him in custody as soon as possible. So I urge everyone, call Crime Stoppers, let us know exactly where he is. We will come and get him right away, and we're working round the clock to catch every single person. These group of men and women, they are absolutely dedicated. We are not going to stop until we have them all.
And the final message again as well: anybody that harbors him is going to be arrested and prosecuted. We said this last week, and unfortunately, a young lady harbored a fugitive, and she was arrested as well. And so again, if you want the community to be safe, everybody's got to participate. If anybody harbors this guy or anybody else that was involved in this, you're going to be brought to justice as well. But the message should be really clear. We're going to find you guys, we're going to arrest you, we're going to prosecute you, and we're going to make the city safe. So we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any more clarity on the motive for this shooting?
Look, there were a number of individuals out there firing weapons. We're working through that right now. We know that Mr. Allen was one of the shooters, but we know that there were others, and so we're working to get all of that right now. What we need is help catching him. What we need is the video and the pictures that would help us get to all of those answers.
Have you identified the people who were shooting the music video to kind of help in the investigation?
We've spoken to a number of people that night and since that night, but what we need is the actual evidence. We need witness account, photos, videos, and we need to know where the people are who were responsible for the shooting.
The other people, are they around the same age as, I mean, obviously you guys sometimes deal with a young juvenile gang problem, but I mean, this is 32 years old. I mean, do you believe that the other shooters were of that age, or? It's hard to know.
It's kind of hard to know that, and that's why we so desperately need the community's help. And so we know that the people out there know the answers to that. We need them to give that information to us.
Any more clarity on who the target of the shooting was?
There were probably multiple targets, and so it's so important that we get that information from the community, because it wasn't just one target. With the number of shooters, they weren't just shooting at one person. There were people shooting at each other, and a lot of people got hurt. We're so glad that it wasn't worse than what it was. So this is going to really come down to people stepping up to bring us what they have so we can solve this.
Chief, any update on the condition of the victims?
To my understanding, all the victims are in good to fair condition. There's one or two who are still pretty critical, but none that are life-threatening.
Does Mr. Allen have a criminal background or any gang affiliation that's known at this time?
To our knowledge, he does. He has a criminal background, and there are ties to more than one organization.
In the press release, you said that you suspect that there are a number of shooters. Have you identified how many shooters you think there were that night?
Well, at this time, it's still under investigation. What we want to say is that we know that there's more than one. There are multiple shooters. There are probably multiple different groups or gangs involved. What we want is to get the information so we can accurately put this investigation together before we put that information out.
What groups is he a member of the Allen family, or what groups are you looking at?
I'm going to let Commander go to talk.
So the investigation is still very active and very fluid. Any ties to the Allen family regarding Mr. Joseph Moe Allen, we won't release that at this point. But we can tell you that most of our investigation, the success rate is going to come from the public's assistance. I got to stress that, the public's assistance. And we need that information to give you accurate data or accurate information to relay back to you guys. But it's progressing well. We think this is the first step to give you a positive results, and let the investigation take its course from here.
What's the nature of Mr. Allen's criminal history?
I don't have that information readily available, and I would not even release that if I had it.
All right, that's all we got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.